What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. Today we are talking about 2017's Logan by James Mangold, the director. Ooh, something about that James Mangold. Ooh, and it's funny because whenever I watch one of his movies, it's not till after the movie I go, oh shit, this is James Mangold? Fuck, that man. Like, whatever he does, visually, storytelling-wise, conceptually, but mostly visuals. Whatever he's doing is for me. Because I fucking love his shit. Whether it's, the most recent Indiana Jones, or Logan, or Ford vs. Ferrari, or I believe it was him that did that first Godzilla movie way back. Not way back, but the most recent of the Godzilla movies with Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Elizabeth Olsen. They play husband and wife before they played brother and sister, or I think it was that even right after they played brother and sister, which is even weirder. But either way, it's acting. You can look past it. But Logan, baby. This movie, just even the title, you get Old Man Logan. I think my one and only gripe with this movie is that they actually kill the character off, which, if you can feel it the whole movie that he's dying. He's old, he's falling apart, he's supposed to be healing, he's getting shot, he's not healing immediately, it takes a minute. Like, he's just old. But you also got to think, at this point in history, he's got to be a couple 100 years old. Like, he was alive during World War I and II. Like, he was alive early. Pretty sure he was alive during the Civil War. Like especially Logan himself here, Mr. James Howlett. Like, he's been through it all. He's scarred up. At one point, I love how they open up this movie with the guys trying to rob his car, and I love that they open up with a hard R, right? Like, this movie is not PG-13. It is a hard R, rated R movie, and it shows it immediately. It brings out the claws, he slices off an arm, shoots the car, he goes, oh, motherfucker, gets angry, starts killing people. But I love that he goes, you can show his age too, with also showing that it's a rated R movie, and he goes to bring out the claws. One claw doesn't come all the way out, so later, once he's in the bathroom, bleeding and getting these bullets, pushing the bullets out of his arm, his chest, he grabs the claw by hand, rips the claw further out. You can see that there was blood all caked in there, why it wasn't pulling out. Poor guy's body's just falling apart, and I think mostly what's killing him is that he's had adamantium in his body for this long. Like, he doesn't look too hot. He doesn't. He's finally showing his age, where he was kind of ageless for so long, and now this is Old Man Logan. Poor Professor X is having seizures, right? Like, they had to trap him away, they keep him medicated up. But just between Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman, you feel all the love for the X-Men movies that you loved beforehand, but now you see them old, and you see him like really in a wheelchair and not being able to like do anything really, because he's very old. Like, oh man, like, poor guy. But, he's still kind of using his powers. But when he has them seizures and you get that ear ringing and people start, everyone kind of freezes. Like, it's also implied that maybe has happened before. And that's why Logan took him to this thing and kept him in this silo type thing. Like, just tough. But also something I like. I like and dislike this character of Caliban. Something about him, like he's not the actor, because the actor I actually quite like how he delivers his lines. I like how he goes out, he pulls the grenade pins and he's like, walk into the light, throws them, blows them up. The main villain of Boyd Holbrook, he's pretty freaking great in his role. I don't really love that they X-24 and they have like two Logans. One's a younger, one's an older. I'm not really in love with that. I'm just not. Like, it just is what it is. But overall, this movie's still fantastic. I gave this movie 4.5 out of 5 stars. What takes it away from being a 5-star movie for me is people like Caliban, not really in love with that character. X-24, not really in love with. But what gets it to that 4.5 stars is Dafne freaking Keen. Oh my god, this girl's 11, fucking 11, and she's kicking every bit of ass. Like, and she's with Wolverine here, which is like her dad, and she's got bloody knuckles, just like he always has bloody knuckles, and he's dying, and she's just like, you know, got her glasses on, riding in the passenger seat, like, but, you know, he saves her, he's all cut up and clawed, and she's all locked up, and she doesn't even have a real line other than, ah, ah, like, she screams a bunch, but she doesn't have an actual line of dialogue till about an hour and 37 minutes into this movie, and she says, de nada. You know, like, she speaks Spanish, she doesn't really speak English. She does have a little bit of conversation with, Logan at a certain point. Finally, Logan gets her to where she wanted to go. Thought it was just a comic book the whole time, but where they end up in North Dakota or wherever they are, they actually end up finding her friends. Their friends give him medicine, get him kind of back in the game, shave his beard so he looks like the old Wolverine, which is kind of funny. But she kicks so much ass. I would love to see Dafne Keen back in Daredevil in Deadpool 3. The actress, fantastic. She absolutely kills it in this role. Even all the parts up until she actually gets to speak, she's killing it. But then afterwards, she still kills it, right? Like, she has to cut, you know, he gets impaled on a tree. She has to cut the branch behind him, and then she's standing there, and he's like dying, and he's like, so that's what it feels like. You know, like, he's been somebody that heals from death every time. You know what I mean? He's probably died multiple times and then has just healed back from it because of his regeneration process. But now he's not regenerating. He's used all his medicine. He used every last bit of his strength to save her and the kids, to kill old X-24. And he doesn't even kill the thing. She does, with the adamantium bullet that he kept in his pocket. He goes, I was thinking about killing myself with that, right? Like, oh, like, there's certain lines and deliveries between him and his daughter that he doesn't really know. They just really met, but they, you know, they're very much, she's like you, very much like you, you know. Poor Professor X dies. Like, oh, it's heartbreaking, this movie. But the final scene, and she buries him, does this, you know, a whole little funeral for him, but they have to keep moving, so the kids start walking. She stays behind. She moves the cross into an X. Oh, tears. Oh, fuck. Shit's so good, dude. James Mangold, you fucking bastard. How could you do this? But it is one of the greatest Marvel movies, one of my favorite Marvel movies, one of the greatest movies in general. Right? Like, just for a character, and just to explore, the character's been explored every way possible. Now you have to kill him. How are you going to do that? You're going to give us a great fucking movie. Just how you're going to fucking do it. You know, like, oh. Right? Like, all you wanted the whole time, too, was just Wolverine just to kick everyone's ass and just be perfectly fine. But, like, it gives it stakes. It gives it motion. It gives it power that he has this daughter he's never met. He starts out as an asshole. By the end of the movie, he's protecting these kids again. He's back to being Wolverine. He's back to being an X-Men. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's so good. Comment below, what do you think of this movie? Are you a fan of the X-Men movies in general? If not, are you a fan of Wolverine like I was? You know, I was never really a huge X-Men guy, but I was a huge Hugh Jackman Wolverine guy. Like, I was always in love with just the ferocity of that character. I cannot wait to get the Wolverine video game. I hope that game is a hard rated R and just gory and just slicing arms and swearing and killing folks and fucking, you know, like, give us the we don't want him to have this arc like he does in this movie. When you give us the game, give us all the violence, give us the gore, give us him being an assassin, give us all of that good shit. You know, he can do some good stuff because he's not a terrible human being, but he was an assassin. He was a murdering weapon for a long time before he ends up being an X-Men. Give us that shit. This game isn't called X-Men Wolverine. It's called Wolverine. So give us Wolverine. That's all I have to say. I will see you guys in the next video. Follow my links down in the description below. Check out my reviews on Letterboxd. If you want to email me at comicallyboston@gmail.com. And I will see you guys in the next video. Please comment below any movie recommendations you have. Please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new, if you want to see my face again. The next movie we'll be talking about is The Last Jedi, so that might not keep you around. But hey, we're talking about Star Wars. We're now into Rey's trilogy, and we are on to movie 8 in the trilogy. Or in the sagas, whatever. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, coming out to a YouTube channel near you next. So stay tuned for that review, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.